Hi there. I thought I'd do a video of something that I think I already have the recipe on my culinary queue, but if not, I can do it really easily. Chicken pot pie. So easy. A quarter cup of butter. That's ready to go. I'm going to put some celery and onion and saute it till it's soft for a bit. Probably about 10 minutes, because you know, they say to do it slow. The slower you saute onions, the sweeter they are. And of course, you do it really slow and for a long time, then they caramelize. But we're not going to go there. But we don't want to blast the heck out of them. We're just going to, oops, I got a little piece of skin in there. Oop, put mine in the oven. So here we go, just onions, celery, oops, break those up. But not a big deal. I'm just going to let those saute for a bit and not make you watch me. But just so you know, I did my usual thing. I have everything prepped. I have everything I need. I have my flour pre-measured, my stock, my chicken, my veggies. And here's something fun. I have a ton of lettuce, and I'm afraid it's going to go bad. So you know what? I'm going to throw it in here and see how it is. I'm sure it's fine. And if it's not, well, what are you going to do? Okay, this is going to saute. I will be back. Hi, if the angle looks different, I knocked the camera over in the meantime. Oh well. Well, here I am. The onion and celery are all sauteed. So now it's time to make this white sauce. So, I always read directions. I know how to do this, but I always read them. Slowly add flour. I know how to make white sauce. What am I reading this for? That's silly. Okay, so, I know the sound's really loud. The pan sounds so loud on this, but okay, so I'm just going to whisk in the flour. It was a quarter cup to equal the quarter cup of butter. And turn up a little bit. And basically just stir it around until it cooks a little bit. I didn't slowly add it, but I will cook it for a few minutes. Not on real high. This burner is kind of higher than your average burner. Not as higher as my real high test one. Oh, don't mind the messy stove. Okay. Basically, when you're making any kind of white sauce, you want to cook the flour before you add the liquid, just to give it a little more depth and flavor, I guess. I don't know. Oh, it smells so good. Butter and onion, how can you go wrong? And celery, that's always helpful. So, normally I wouldn't make you watch me just stir things, but it won't be that long. I think this is fine. White sauces are a lot less fussy than some people make them out to be. So here I am. That looks fine. I'm going to start adding the liquid. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Now this is just chicken and turkey stock. I have a cup each frozen in the freezer. So I'm just using up stock from my freezer. And just stir it in, stir it in, stir it in. Probably don't even need the whisk at this point. There's no lumps, but you know. Oh, here, I'll show you. See this? See how it's getting thick? See that? See? Ooh, it's getting thick. And needs more liquid. I don't want it too thick. So one of my faults is when I'm doing a white sauce, I'm so good at gradually adding the fluid, and then at some point I just say screw it and dump the rest of it in. Let's see if I do that this time. Well, it was really thick. I might need to add more fluid. Yeah, we'll see. Ooh. The lovely thing about using so much butter and so much flour is that you can't go wrong. It's going to get thick. It will be thick enough to handle this. Typically, when I make gravy, it's a tablespoon of butter or oil to a tablespoon of flour to a cup of water. So this is actually double the amount of flour and water for 2 cups of liquid, which is why it's really hard to mess it up. So, oh, look at this. Oh, I haven't just randomly dumped the rest of it in yet. Well, I think I will now, though. It'll be fine. So still, it's pretty thick. Well, I can't tip it as much. I need another camera so I can do the better angles, but this is nice and thick. Okay, now, what are we doing? I did all that stuff. It's thick. Add the vegetables. Now, it says a cup and a half of chopped veggies. So that's what I have. I chop them thicker, bigger than normal, so it's maybe more like 2 cups, but it will reduce down to the same amount once cooked. And as I said before, I had a ton of lettuce left over. I mean, I have a ton of lettuce. It's nice and fresh, but it's not going to last forever. So I said, you know what? I'm going to stick it in here. Add some green. So here we go. This we don't have to add. Oh, so what I did here is, that means my oven's preheated. In here I just used up vegetables. I had a red pepper that I don't need this whisk anymore. Oops, did I splash myself? No, I didn't. How about that? I had red pepper that was starting to go bad, so I cut off the bad part and used some of it, and there's still some left. And daikon radish and carrot I had in the fridge. So I used that, and I really didn't chunk it up as much as I usually do, but I think this will be fine. So it says add and then season. Okay, so the recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of Bell's seasoning. And I always use kind of a heaping one to start. And I will probably add more because I need to season this just a little bit. Oh, I can taste it before let me turn this down. We don't need it boiling. Okay. Salt. They recommend a teaspoon or less. Well, we'll go with a teaspoon. I'll go with a scant to start. Scant teaspoon. Because it's salted butter. They call it for salted butter, but I've done this. If all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I bought all this unsalted butter to make bread or whatever. Why would you do that during this coronavirus thing? Just add more salt to the end product if you have to use unsalted butter. Pepper. Where's my pepper mill? Oh. This was my mom's. Kind of fun to use things she cooked with. Okay, pepper. Steve and I like lots of black pepper, so we kind of do this with abandon here. And let's see. Smells good. Okay, I have salt, pepper, and I always add. I love adding marjoram. It's a good way to get that little brightness from lemon without adding the lemon. So this is, I don't know what I just put in. Probably about a teaspoon. Just because it adds a nice brightness. Which you can also put lemon juice in to do the same thing, or a touch of vinegar just to give it a little thingy, a little flavor there. Okay, I need to taste this and see if it passes the taste test. And then we'll put it together into a pie and do it. Let's see. I like using a metal spoon versus wooden to taste. For some reason, I feel like I'm getting a more true flavor. If I'm cooking for company, I would not do this, but I'm going to double dip because it's just Steve and I, and our germs are already commingled, so, you know. That's good. Oh, I've never had the pepper in with it. Oh, that's wicked good. I can taste it in the sauce. I'm debating if I want to add any seasoning or not. Let's see. That's good. If I had tomato paste, I might add some, because it always adds like an umami thing going on, but I'm going to add some oregano. If I can find it quickly enough. If not, forget about it. Oh no. Time. We've got time on our hands during coronavirus time. And I'm not even going to taste it. I'm sure they'll be fine. You know what? I'm going to go just make that a full teaspoon of salt. Oh, I forgot. I missed a carrot. That's right. There we go. Okay. Here, let me move this real quick. We'll put the pie together and then I'll throw it in the oven. I was kind to you and didn't make you have to watch me make the pie crust fit. I always find that a challenge. Whenever I've made pie crust, it's come out really good, but it's never looked pretty. Oops. Okay. Okay, so I highly recommend poaching chicken breast going in. Makes amazing meat. So here I am. I just, like a half a cup or more of chicken. Put this over it. Oh. I love wooden spoons, but a spatula is always best to get the very end of everything. And I highly recommend a saucier pan if you can afford it to have it. It doesn't have to be a fancy all-clad, just this style pan. It's great because when you're making gravy, things don't get stuck on the corner. There's no corner. I love this thing. I use it all the time. It's an excellent investment. Okay, so that's this. Spread this out, that'll be fine. Okay, and yeah, and I had already opened this up, so okay, so I'm terrible at doing pie crust. Let's see. Ooh, prepping ahead of time helped. I'm just gonna wing it. Tuck that under. Under. Oops, come back. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be a little messy, but you know what? It's just a chicken pie. The important thing is that at least you get it somewhat stuck together. There we go. Okay, it's kind of half-assed looking, but what the heck. Here, we're going to do one final thing. Makes me pretend I'm a fancy pastry person. Just little fork thingies. Oops, well, why not? Okay, well this is silly, but whatever. Sharp knife. Then we'll do, I always do 5 slits. I don't know why. Must be the Pentagon thing for me. Oops. Wiccan, not Satan. Okay, here we go. Throw it in the oven. It was preheated to 425 and it's going to go for about, how long? Yeah, 40-45 minutes. And I won't make you watch me during that. See you when I get back. So the timer went off. I actually went for 35 minutes and oh my god, I remembered to turn the oven off already. So here we go. It's ooh. Yeah, it ain't gorgeous, but it's bubbling. I'm sure you can see this, but we'll do a little lift. And of course now I need to let it sit for, oh, recipe says 5 minutes. Ha ha ha. This is going to sit for like 20 minutes because it's really hot. But I'm sure it's going to be really good. And it got a little burnt, but some people say to partway through put one of those, foil over it to protect the crust, and I don't have time for that. Whatever. It is what it is. Oh, and these are the Pillsbury crusts. Sorry about that. The frozen ones that I used. I've heard that Trader Joe's ones are really good. And one of my challenges during this coronavirus time is to learn, if possible, to make really good whole wheat crusts, because all I have is whole wheat flour. So, oh no, actually I do have some white flour, but let's see. Let's do the challenge. I'm going to do the challenge for the whole wheat. But in any case, this will taste great. It's easy, quick and easy recipe to make, and just one of those comfort foods. So try it out. culinaryq.com. That's culinary and the letter q.com. And I'll make sure the recipe's up there soon. Thanks. Bye. Well, here we go. It's done. It's cooled down a little bit. I'm gonna see what it looks like when we cut out a piece. Oh, it's never easy. Oh, okay, not too bad. Well, it may not look pretty, but that's okay, because... Ooh. Ah, it's still too hot. But that's okay. So the trick is... Oh my goodness. Well, you know it came from a real chicken. There was a bone in there. Oh my goodness. Well... Okay, so now I have to try some. I need to try some with the lettuce. Oh, it's really hot still. But as Steve says about his mom, you go, whoosh. Mmm. It's good, and feel free to put lettuce in your chicken pot pie or anything else. That's really good. Most romaine lettuce, it's good. Safe romaine lettuce. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and this recipe either is or will soon be on culinaryq.com, and it's so easy, and you can multiply it, because I cook this for like 40 people at a time too, so it's a fun recipe. Whatever you do, have fun cooking.